Welcome back to the Loveland Report and Lone Ranger Show. I am Cleve Loveland, Central Florida's best real estate planner, alongside Bruce Woodburn. And as we do every show, I like to tell the realtors out there and the buyers and sellers about what we do, what we've got for sale. I've got some great buys here. I picked the best buys, what I think right now. Conway, Bruce, 3,100 square foot home, 4 bedrooms, 4 baths, guest apartment.
Nice.
For the in-laws or the outlaws, or even rental income, 2-car garage. Main house, all 1 story, got a cabana out back, like an office above the pool on the 2nd floor, but 3,100 square feet. The best thing is a 3/4 acre lot in Conway. So you're next door to $1 million lakefront properties,
Beautiful.
$2 million lakefront properties right down the street, and just a beautiful property lined with big 100-year-old oaks for $720, and that's 3,100 square feet. Most of the homes this size selling are about 2,300, 2,400 square feet. Now this one needs a bit of updating, but the bones are there and is in great condition. $720,000 on that one. I've got the best price pool home in Rosemont, 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, $318,000, 1,700 square feet. Out back, there's an enormous Florida room. A backyard looks like it was manicured by Disney landscapers with a pool. So best price around for a pool home at $318. And give me a call if you want to take a look at that. That's in Rosemont. I might get tons of calls on that from out of town, Bruce, because that's a great price on a pool home.
Sounds like a
people
good price.
relocating here. Masters Drive in Clermont. This is the Palisades. The lots in this community are 1/4 acre oversized. This one's $560,000, 2,700 square feet, 5 bedrooms, 3 baths, double master bedrooms. So if you got the outlaw living with you, the in-law, other side of the house on their own wing, private wing, $560,000 for that one. I've got townhomes. This is a great investment property, gated community in Sanford, only 3 years old. This townhome is an end unit. So you got more. If you're going to buy a townhome, try and get an end unit, more windows, more light, always will help it sell. 1,800 square feet, but also 4 bedrooms, oversized hallways, just a spacious feel to this townhome, 2-car garage in a gated community, custom tile, granite backsplash. Everything is really nicely done by this builder. And then I've got a fixer-upper in Sanford. This is financeable, Bruce. Somebody could do financing on this. I don't really know. It will need a little bit of a reno loan, I think, maybe 20 grand, 30 grand.
Got them.
You've got them. 220,000 for 1,500 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. And it's funny, this is an older home, but it's got 9-foot ceilings.
Really?
Yeah, whoever built it must have been really tall. I mean, really high ceilings. Sometimes the older homes, and actually, I'm guessing 9 feet. They could be 10. I mean, just high ceilings throughout the entire home, big master bedroom, big yard, right in downtown Sanford area that's growing very well.
People that was 300
homes.
what?
That one is 220.
220. How much do you think it needs for work? 50 grand?
Structural, roof, 20, interior, 50 total.
50
total. And they're selling for over 300 when they're built.
You'd be in there for 300,000.
Less than
you
3.
Could have like a brand new looking house.
Yep.
New everything.
Yep. Beautiful house.
Call the Lone Ranger at 407-250-9144. Let's talk about looking at that house, and let's discuss renovation loans. Renovation loans are very, very popular right now because you may find the house or the area that you want, but you can't find the house that you want, but you find one and it's a little bit of a dump, but
here's what I see, Bruce.
The footprint works and the area works.
You know, many people call me and say, I want to build a new home. I need a piece of land. Well, land now, you got to drive. You're better off to find a house with the bones and then reno it. And then I want to talk to you the difference between reno and construction perm.
Absolutely.
The reno, so I find the house and it's hideous. It needs a kitchen, it needs a bathroom, and it needs flooring and paint. Let's say it needs 50, 60, 70 grand, or it's really big. It needs 100 grand. They're going to close on that. Now at closing, do those checks get cut to the vendors? Do you have to have those bids beforehand?
Yes, you have to have all your bids before you do a renovation loan. And that's one of the things you have to be prepared for. If it's a purchase transaction and you need the renovations in your mortgage, I have the product. The only thing that you have to do is be able to negotiate with the seller to delay the closing for you to be able to get all your estimates in.
Well, you got a team like mine. We'll have those estimates done in inspection period.
Contractor that's going to do the flooring, the cabinets.
It has to be a GC though.
You got to have a GC.
Okay.
If you're doing one trade and all you were doing was plumbing, then I don't need a GC. But if you have multiple trades, you have to have a GC do it, and no self-help. So you've got to be able to delay the closing to be able to get all those things together. But then I can combine everything all into one loan, and then I will dole out the checks as the job progresses. Now, we're not going to just give a subcontractor or a contractor checks. The checks are made out to both the client and the contractor. So if that way the client can't say, why'd you pay my contractor? He never finished the job, or he did a terrible job on that. No, we don't issue any money until you've signed off on the authorization.
And I've got the GCs for you. So, but that in the inspection period, let's say it's 2 weeks, and the contractor comes back way higher than you thought, you could always cancel because of the inspection. But I would say if you got what's hard, Bruce, see, like I did this myself, bought my dream home on a lake, and I thought, oh, I'll renovate one room at a time. Oh,
no
pain. I wish I would have done it all up front, and it would have been good. Instead, I've done piecemeal renovations. Finally did the whole thing. We about moved out 2 years ago, and actually about 5 years ago, and did everything we wanted done and rushed it. I had an awesome GC, had it done in 40 days, finished Christmas Eve, and got it all done at once. And I wish we had done that right up front.
Well, and you and I have plenty of builders that we can refer to clients that are interested in building their home or renovating their home. I just closed on the first 3D printed home, and was literally built from start to finish in 4 months. The builder said he could have done it in 2, but the county could not keep up with the permits fast enough. They were lagging just on permits. They literally could have had this house built from soup to nuts in 2 months. And they think they can even shrink that down even further if they can get the county on board for doing the inspections quicker. Now, listen, if you are loaded in debt and you own your own home and you've got equity in your home, stop juggling these high interest rate credit cards, personal loans. You're living paycheck to paycheck, and yet you've got equity in your property. But here's the facts. Here's the truth. If you own your home, you could be sitting on the solution. Don't make late payments on anything. Even a small debt could keep you from being able to refinance in the future. I can help you with a cash out refinance to consolidate all that debt and save you money. So stop paying 22% on your credit cards. Stop paying high interest. Let's consolidate everything and make your life so much simpler with one payment.
I just had a seller sell, and I had a heart-to-heart with them. They sold for that reason. They're moving back in with the kids. They're going to buy a downsized home, sold a beautiful house for 500. Then they're going to buy something in the mid threes, probably move into another city in Florida. But they had about 50 grand in credit card debt. Some of it was medical, some of it was, whatever it was, but I had the heart-to-heart with them. I'm like, open up your wallets. I made both of them open up their wallets. And I said, pull out all the credit cards. And between the two of them, there was 5 different accounts.
Right.
And, oh, but I need this one. This one's getting paid. I'm like, all right, right now, I want you to cut up 4 of those. One family needs 1 credit card, and that's
maybe 2.
Yeah.
I use a business and a personal.
You got a business and a personal.
And then I do have a spare because I use American Express. So I have a spare Visa in case somebody doesn't take American Express.
But that was so hard for them to do that. I said, you guys don't need this, right? You're paying these off. I go, what? I said, with your monthly income, how could you ever want to have a credit card with a limit over $5,000 or $10,000? I said, what do you need this to be? And they called me. Actually, they closed on that closed about 60 days ago. And they called me saying they are so grateful for me having them do that, because they had cards coming in the mail. The credit cards company called them saying, oh no, we'll reapprove you and raise your limit and all this stuff. And I said, that's a wrong mindset. And people just get into trouble with that. And
it's insane.
It's part of the problem with a lot of people driving around their $800 leases on their BMW. Can't buy a house, right? And I'm sure you see that when you pull credit on people
all the time.
That's right. So
they come in here and they got all the fancy clothes and shoes and fingernails.
Hermes purse or Hermes.
They got their Hermes purse and a fancy car, and yet they don't have any money.
Now, Bruce, real quick, we're getting sidetracked. We talked about the reno loan.
Yes.
That's different from the construction perm. That's the full build of the new home.
Construction perm means nothing's been broken on the ground. There's no ground broken whatsoever. To do a construction perm, you got to start from zero. Don't even start the slab and then want a construction perm. It's very difficult for somebody to step in after any work's been done. So, and one of the problems I've seen is I've had a couple of clients not too far in the past that said, I don't want to do a construction loan. I'm going to pay cash for my construction, and then I'll come back later and maybe pull some money out of it. Then you know what happens? They get 3/4 of the way done, and it ended up costing them more than they thought. And now they need to borrow money to finish it. And you can't borrow money to finish it because the project is already underway.
Yep.
So don't do that.
Yep.
Common mistake people have.
Yep.
But the difference in a reno loan and a construction loan, the construction loan starts with zero. There's nothing there. Nothing's been moved. Maybe the ground's been cleared, but no construction's been done. Renovation loan, I can do FHA, VA, conventional. I can help you put additions on. We can move walls. We can do whatever you want.
Mhm.
You buy that home, we determine which is the best renovation loan for you. So FHA has two types. They have a streamline refinance, which only goes up to like 35,000,
Mhm.
but no structural work.
Yep.
Then they've got your traditional renovation, and you can add in basically whatever you want. You
Okay.
can do a room. Then we've got conventional. You could put a pool in, add an addition, put a garage, do an accessory dwelling unit, all kinds of thing on conventional loans.
Yep. All right. All right. I got some news here, Bruce. Guess what Florida's leading in? I mean, we've got low tax rates. We've got people moving here from other states. But we are leading in something that's not that great.
What's that?
Canceled sales.
Canceled sales
Canceled
on
real
homes?
estate sales. Canceled real estate sales. And this is and it's funny. There's an
So
economist.
we're leading the nation.
Not the nation. We are top five.
Top five.
Top five.
So that
cities.
means what? People are taking their homes off the market?
This is what disturbs me. It's up higher than it has been. And I would say, like me, I have less than 5% of sales cancel. So when I got a listing and I got a buyer comes in from another realtor and we do an inspection, we work something out. When we got a buyer and the buyer's unreasonable, what this is lack of experience. We talk about bless her little heart real estate. This is lack of experience.
Out there.
So, and then this is where the building inspector goes hog wild and scares the heck out of the buyer. And the realtor doesn't say, whoa, wait a minute. This is maintenance items. And really the repairs is what we need to ask the seller for and what's broken. And I understand, okay, the AC is 18 years old. We need to ask for a credit for a new AC.
Right.
That's reasonable, not $50,000 to rebuild the kitchen and the settlement crack in the driveway out by the street. You don't get a new driveway poured.
Well, why are they canceling?
Well, they're canceling because they're misled and they're not getting the right guidance. And I think they've got that bless their little heart.
So you think Florida is in the top in the country for bad realtors? Is that what you're saying?
No, we've got more realtors per square foot than any other state, I think. But this is where you got to have a good agent helping you with this on what's reasonable. And sellers, don't be too tough on the inspection. If something's broken and the next buyer probably will ask for the same thing, nobody wants to pay you top dollar and have a roof that's only got 2 years of life left in it. You got to make some kind of concession on something like that.
Now, if you have that problem, I can solve that problem multiple different ways.
Yeah.
With renovation or escrow holdbacks.
Yes.
There's ways to do it.
Yeah.
Because we run across situations where the seller just doesn't have the money to do it.
Well, most of
but
what
there's equity in the property.
Most agents bring me, after they do an inspection report, they send me the report and say, buyers wants this fixed. I'm like, no. Send me what's broken on an addendum and tell me what the buyer would like. And we will see if it's reasonable. We will review send me the report so I can compare.
Right.
And also let me know if the building inspector's brother named Joe does the roof, since you're asking for a new roof and our roof is only 5 years old. Seen that happen. But all these things come into play and you got to do what's reasonable. And this is where I'm not a deal killer. I will save a deal. I will make it work and prepare the seller for that. If a house is in really bad shape, we might do a pre-listing inspection.
Absolutely.
So we know
You
exactly
should.
what's going on with our friend JT over at Central Florida Building Inspectors.
Absolutely.
So-
Cleve Loveland, the voice of real estate here in Central Florida. He can be reached right now at 407-352-8118. That's 407-352-8118. I'm Bruce Woodburn. They call me the Lone Ranger. You can reach me at 407-250-9144. That's 407-250-9144. Or get your application started right now at webringyouhome.com. I promise you, you will not be disappointed in choosing me and my team to help you with a mortgage. We're the largest retail lender. We lend in all 50 states. I can help you anywhere you want to go. And believe me, there's not a loan program that another lender has that I don't have. We can even help you with hard money, private money, renovation loans, purchase money, VA, FHA, streamline refinances. I could go on and on and on. I don't even have, we only have an hour show.
I laugh when another mortgage person tells me they've got products. I'm like, all right.
All right. One more time.
We'll be right back. One more segment. 407-352-8118 for Cleve Loveland or cleveloveland.com.
Yeah, or 407-250-9144 for the Lone Ranger or webringyouhome.com. Be right back.